Ready to go live? Yes, we are
Oh,
live.
live.
hmm
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Hunter Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire and tech diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the Crossroads, where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you. Man, I started to say tech diva except today,
Because we having tech issues.
yeah, this don't seem like it's today.
Right,
But
I'm over here scrolling my tech right now for our show list. So I have it up.
oh, all
Mhm.
right, y'all. I see you coming in. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. What we're asking you to do as you come in, please share this broadcast. We're going to have some fun this evening. First of all, Happy New Year, everybody.
I know this
Hope
is the
that,
first show of the new year, huh?
yeah, 20 and the
Damn.
22. Shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority
Mm.
Incorporated, who's kicking off 2022, which is 100 years from 1922, when seven trailblazing, visionary founders and educators started this illustrious sorority at Butler University in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, so on that note, I've been meaning to say this. I didn't say it the other day, a couple of days ago.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
talk about how y'all just hijack
No, y'all, because please check my timeline. Check my timeline. But go ahead and go
as
ahead and finish your
because you
thought.
know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes. Which I was not with it. It's not with it. It's not with it.
Okay, so first, so let me be careful with the labeling here. Number one, as I'm pouring my beverage, because I was about to say y'all hijacked the Sigmas Founders
Yeah.
Day, and then that gets into the conversation. Who are the Sigmas? That's us. They the
Right.
five.
Yeah. Yes.
So
You're gonna
or the
have
five
people.
betas, whatever.
Yes, honey.
Right.
Yes,
So it was
honey.
it was Battle of the Blue on the ninth. And the reason is for those who are not initiated, Phi Beta Sigma's Founders Day is January 9th, and this year it was on 1/9/22, but Sigma Gamma Rho was founded in on 1/9/22. So while it's not their Founders Day, it was significant of their centennial
Of the
year.
year, yeah, of the year,
So
the 1922, 1922. And
and
I was just like,
I didn't
child,
even think about it until I saw it. I was like, ugh.
it only takes one. It takes
Uh-huh.
one, and then it spread like wildfire. And then I realized, like, oh shoot,
Mhm.
that's somebody's actual Founders Day. Like, we got all year. We don't really need to do that.
So you were
There
you were the
were
one that cared.
right, right. It was more than one, but
Hmm.
comparatively, yes, I was the one that cared. So there were different events that were held in various areas. Some people opted for virtual. Some people they had like actual sisterhood brunches on that day, and I was all for that. I was like, our private celebration because it's not like we're celebrating Founders Day with Phi Beta Sigma. They're doing their own thing, but I wasn't a fan of the outward
Hmm.
posting and images and things. I was just like,
No.
for why? Because if it was in reverse, we'd be ready to burn something down, child. You know,
And
you know.
it probably would have.
Yeah. So I was like, I heard you in the back of my head saying it. So here I am with the same energy. So shout out. Let's just run down the line. I got my bottle in hand. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated celebrated 111 years, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
111 years. I was like, one. Okay,
Mhm.
111 years on January 5th. Then shout out to me. My birthday was on January
January
6th.
6th.
Cheers. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, celebrated on January 9th. And then you got, God bless the rest. Okay.
Right.
The Deltas, the AKA,
Yeah,
and
because
the
that's
Zetas.
coming. Wait, what's today's
Hold up.
date? Today's the
Today's the 10th.
no,
Child,
it's
I
not.
started
No, today's the 11th.
today's 11th. I told you my watch literally says Monday the 10th. I had to ask #Boo. I was like, am I living in the past? Or
Yeah.
I thought I woke up like this is a sci-fi novel or something.
Because we almost didn't have a show tonight.
But I saw the Deltas loading up already, and I was like, what day is it? But I guess they just there.
Oh yeah. So. They're getting ready. January is annoying. I'm sorry.
And on top of that, it's like everybody's dang birthday. Right? So, like I'm not mad because it's our birthdays too, but it's like every day, literally, until probably your birthday or a little bit after.
Well, I know somebody who has a birthday. Yeah, my whole family pretty much is January. So shout out to my babies.
Oh, little baby.
Yeah, my niece and my nephew.
We're gonna talk about that, Tyrone. He said, I have a pet peeve about some of the anniversaries. I do not like the term J9. Look, I'm,
Hey.
I don't have a dog in the fight, no poodle in the fight, but I, shout out to J5. I think it's cute. I do know some news that's not with it. #Boo is one of those. He's like, just happy Founders Day. Me, you don't have to J5 me. But everybody else, y'all kill it.
See, no, because we started doing that, and then all of a sudden everybody is J whatever. Like,
yeah, just kill it. It's not even cute. J5 is cute because of Michael and them. It wouldn't even be cute without Michael. So if y'all did that just because I tell y'all to kill it too.
Oh, I mean,
it makes sense
because
it's y'all because you cute.
I'm not saying
that.
The
nukes do it because y'all cute. Okay.
Listen, I don't even do the pretty boy thing. So
the rest of y'all kill it, please. Just
right.
People and like Lord help you if I see an N12. Okay, you about to be him. Like I'm gonna have to reach back
that does
2001 and come see somebody. Okay,
that doesn't even remotely roll off the tongue.
Well, I saw a D4. What if somebody's alpha was out here trying it? I was like,
that just sounds.
Y'all boy.
That just sounds. That sounds like a government classification.
Yeah, like y'all get your boy. Y'all get your boy.
Right. Wait a minute. Is it who I think it is?
No, it was somebody that I didn't. It got retweeted into my timeline. Like I had no idea who they were.
Right. Because I can only think of like one person that would even remotely do that.
Oh Lord.
The alpha is alpha.
Well, he was the one that was saying, "Get that ish out of here." So.
Oh, okay, got you.
If it's the one that I'm thinking about, he was not with it.
Got you. Yeah,
he was not with it.
But no.
I see the Greeks. The Greeks are in the building. I see blue and white hearts. So it could be Sigmas or the Zetas. Well, it's not showing up on the screen, but I'm looking at blue and white and blue and gold hearts. So maybe it's a Sigma with the SG row.
A Sigma that married an SG row.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Or maybe it's a Zeta showing love to the SG. Right. Maybe that's I don't know.
Shout out to
the like that too.
Shout out to the joint license plates.
Yeah.
Y'all is on the way still. I've been saying that for a minute. Y'all joint license. Y'all split plates.
Yeah, no, child. We're not doing no split plates. Hey, speaking of the Sigmas, and again, shout out, it's y'all time. Sean Stockman is a new Sigma. And Wanye's with the Bros, so that should be an interesting
when?
Voice Tyrone since when? I feel like was it y'all conclave? Y'all have conclaves? I don't know the terminology of everybody's national.
Wait, is he made alumni or honorary?
I think he's honorary, but let me not speak out of turn because that's thank you, Zeta showing. I figured I decoded it. I was like, it's blue and white and it's blue and gold.
Right.
I think it's her and us. Yes. So he became a Sigma at their most recent conclave. And I do believe it's honorary. But I saw somebody posted like he was singing, and I was like, dang, I wish I could have.
So what's like the new trivia question? What do Bill Clinton, Al Sharpton, and Sean Stockman all have in common?
Shout out to Sigma. I have very dear friends that are members of all the organizations, but definitely want to show love to those of you founded in January. Of course, I had to shout out my husband Boo at the top of the month, and then all the homies.
And shout out to hashtag Pooh for picking up the torch, y'all. So there's a tradition that I have no longer been able to really keep up with fidelity. Um,
It's okay.
I attribute it to age and now time zones. So traditionally, for the past 21 years, I have called Dre on her birthday at the stroke of midnight.
No matter where I
And
was.
how many years was it before I actually like missed actual midnight?
Was it last year or was it the
I
year
think
before?
last year, either
Well,
last year or the year before was.
the year before I was in DC. So
Mhm.
I think I was just like, dude, just let's do it
Like,
right now.
yeah, I didn't know what times. Right. But the funniest and probably the most memorable one. I don't remember what year it was, but we were at a Founders Day party for the Noobs. So her birthday is January 6th. So of course
Oh, yeah.
January 5th is our Founders Day. So we were out celebrating our Founders Day, and she was at the party or whatnot. So we're at the party, and she's sitting at the party with a whole attitude. Like I'm walking towards her, she's sitting there like face scrunched up, and I'm like, I walk up right at the stroke of midnight and said happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, I was mad because I thought you forgot." I was like, "Damn, it ain't even got here yet." Like he's supposed to be sitting here waiting for midnight to hit.
Already at a whole party, at an
Right.
entire party,
at a new party. This is when I was
Y'all
still
pray for me.
somebody.
Y'all pray for me, okay?
So,
thanks, Shan. More noobs in the building. We're giving all our Founders Day congrats and hurrahs.
yeah,
So
that's
shout out to the
big
noobs.
big
Shout
growing
out to the
mentor
segment.
Shannon, and congrats. Shannon got the channel cracking as well. On his several podcasts.
I was
So
like,
he's
I can't even keep up. I think
Right.
I follow all of them, but I don't never know which one.
Listen.
It's like,
Shan
and then I see you on Twitter, child. It's everywhere. It's going
Shan
up.
be live. Oh, look.
Even
Hey.
hashtag, well, he's like, I think Shan's on again.
Shannon,
I said,
look. I'll play. If you ever have to say, "Hey, where's Shannon at?" YouTube.
Yeah.
Like he gonna be there right now.
I love it.
Shout out. A lot's been going on in the world. So you got older.
Damn.
Right.
I did though.
You did. But we had some people that didn't quite make it.
That didn't get older. Yeah.
That didn't get older. So we want to send some love and shout outs to the legacies and the families of several loved ones. Starting with Sidney Poitier. We lost him in this past week. So just a legend.
My birthday. I was like,
on January 6th. First black man to win Best Actor award. And it was how many years later until Denzel won it? So gone but not forgotten. We have Betty White. That passed. And that was like we thought she wouldn't.
She didn't even make it into 2022. That was
right,
like New Year's Eve or
and she would be turning 100. Yeah, so everybody was pulling for her to turn 100, and just missed it. But her legacy is gonna live much longer than that. And then we lost Bob Saget.
You know, that messed me up. I was just like, what?
Right. And the crazy part is he paid tribute to Betty White after she passed. And then he passed a few days later. And then I didn't get to read it, but he said something like just kind of like real morbid in his, or it's like foreshadowing death or something like that. They said. Jeez. And it happened days later. So and then musician and producer James Ntume. I think I pronounced that Ntume. If y'all know the song Juicy Fruit, you know what I'm saying, gave us a lot of great music. So we just want to send love and
to all the young prayers. Well, shoot, Biggie ain't even young. I was gonna say to all the youngsters, that's
who don't know Juicy Fruit. Like, if you don't know Juicy Fruit, you got to know Juicy.
Juicy, yeah.
I
was trying to give them that, but I was like, it might be kids now that.
I don't even think they know Juicy.
That is, yeah. Oh,
Dang.
Jesus.
And we lost, right. And then shit, we lost Biggie in 97. So that's going on what? How many years? Shit.
Well, it's already
Because we
been
lost,
20.
yeah.
So
So we
20,
lost Pac,
25
yeah,
plus.
25. Yeah, we lost Pac in 96. And then Biggie in 96. So
Years.
yeah, this is 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is.
So
Time
but
keeps on slipping.
right, but if we want to have our time on these interwebs doing the show, we need to pay some bills. So uh in the spirit of staying on the air, y'all, we want to pay some bills. This show, the Crossroads Podcast, as always, is brought to you by the House of 334.
It's the house.
For all your business branding and copyright needs, go to houseof334.com. It is black owned, it is woman owned, it is black woman owned, and it is amazing. And as always, the Crossroads Podcast is brought to you by the Crossroads. So y'all, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, scroll down and hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us on IG or on Facebook, head over to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button so you can get all the notifications for when we go live and when our new shows air. We are currently on hiatus from our recorded shows, but we will be coming back. We'll make that announcement of when we're coming back very soon. But until then, you can catch us live every week. So yeah, and also you can go to our Bitly if you want to donate to the Crossroads Podcast, y'all. This is a labor of love, but love ain't free. And if you think it is, go tell your landlord that you love them. We thank you for those who continue to donate to the Crossroads Podcast so that we can keep this thing going and watch it grow. All right, so appreciate y'all.
Doesn't he do that so well? So lovely, don't you agree?
I guess after you do it so many times, you kind of get used to it.
Yes.
Right. But speaking of advertisements or sponsors.
Oh shoot, I just missed your whole mess. I was going here to I thought you had put the list here and you were telling me to put the list here. So, I'm still on the island. Let me just go ahead and put it out there. So I literally just got back from my honeymoon and I am like, I'm not here. Right. I am not here. I don't know how I fumbled through the work that I've had to do in the past couple of days, couple of meetings. Somebody was like, dang, you look relaxed as hell. I'm like, yeah,
And you look really all bronzy and tan.
Oh, honey, yes, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I didn't think we'd do that.
Yeah.
She's trying to
so I apologize in advance that I have slipped.
Right.
I've done slipped.
So that means we need to hire a producer.
Oh yeah, it definitely needs to be done. But until such time that we have one, let me get on my job. So, but you did marvelous. Without any help.
Without the note.
Yeah, you did great. But I'm gonna help you in a second. All
okay. Right. So speaking of sponsors, we have this is not our sponsor, but
it would be nice.
Yeah, but the sponsors of this particular company have been doing well with pushing this because it's all the I'm not gonna say all the rage, but all the top right now. Taco Bell is serving wings, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part is they just started selling wings in a wing shortage. So has Taco Bell. So it's a conspiracy theory. They're saying two things are going on. We in a wing shortage because Taco Bell done bought up all the wings and hoarding them. Or they are wings.
They're not wings.
But but wings of what?
Oh god.
Somebody said you ain't seen no pigeons around lately.
Oh Lord.
Taco Bell. Have you tried them?
No, I was just actually I'm on Google now so I can see what they look like. I had no idea.
I mean, they look like wings.
I knew, like they're like crispy wings. I didn't know. I have not seen them at all. I've heard people talk about it. I've seen the discussion on Twitter, but I had not seen any advertisement for myself. So I was just like,
So y'all drop in the chat if you have or are willing to or plan on trying Taco Bell wings. So I started to go get some for the show and try them on the air. and then I need it.
I mean, I'd be willing to, like, if you eat anything else from Taco Bell, what's the problem? Or anywhere else for that matter.
Well, I think it's just the idea that it's Taco Bell, and now all of a sudden you're serving wings. But then, you saw I made a post. I'm like, people were shipping on, like, people's like, oh, y'all eating wings from Taco Bell. Then I was like, also people eating Jack in the Box tacos. I don't eat Jack in the Box tacos. So I know everybody think they clutch and they fire, 99-cent tacos, but I haven't had tacos from Jack in the Box since 97. Yeah, and it took me 7 years because I got food poisoning. So yeah, so I was like, nah. It took me 7 years to eat Jack in the Box again in general, but I definitely have not had the tacos again because I'm still connected to that. Shan, come on, Shan, you gotta try the wings for us and give us a full review. And we'll post the link. If you try them on your show, we'll post the link.
Well, hashtag boo. He's gonna try them. I don't know if he'll do it online, but he's gonna. I already know that.
So he got to do it while I know he ain't gonna get on camera, but he got to be like maybe behind the camera and give a review.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Am I freezing? I feel like something's going on with my.
Yeah, every now and a little bit here and there.
Okay, it looked like it went away. Hopefully we're good.
But
sorry, guys. I did notice that. I was like, something. If you see me rocking at any given time, I'm not insane. I'm always looking at myself in the other monitor to see what's happening. That's just free game. If you rocking, it's not like, oh Lord, is she about to come unglued? It's like, no, I'm checking myself out.
No, that's hilarious. I didn't even go to our YouTube. I'm not even watching this on YouTube. I'm just in the chat right here. So yeah, so anybody who's tried Taco Bell wings, hit us up. Let us know what you think, so we can talk about the reviews on the show. So I don't know who's seen this other video that's going around. So I sent you the video of the altercation at the football game. I think that was a Raiders game.
Yeah.
So, and we want y'all thoughts on this, right?
I can pull it up. You want me to try to pull it
up? Yeah. Let's show the video.
It's crazy, but it looked like it was like cutting. So I don't know, like I don't know what all we were seeing at one. If the narration of the story. Let's see. Oh, that's the video I sent you. It's so funny. We send stuff to each other
all day.
Oh, you sent it to me on Instagram, right?
I don't know. We're always back and forth. It's like
I think you did. Can I show that on Instagram? Let's see. So if you're watching us on Instagram right now, this is one reason why we invite you over to either Facebook or YouTube, because you're not going to be able to see what we're sharing. I wonder if I can.
Right.
You don't do it.
Well, I'll set it up though, just in case we can't show it. So, at a football game, people are having their drinks and everything else, and so there's a lady there at the game who's got on a little tube top situation, half top, whatever you want to call it, and she's pulling her breast out.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
And we're not about to show the boobs for those who are concerned.
Oh yeah.
If you got this
is our family show. No, it's actually
it's not. Not the way I cuss.
It's actually not a family show either, but you're not. Okay, hold on. Let's
be like the Crossroads is showing titties, y'all.
Well, you know what? We might get. Yeah. You gotta tell me. Make sure you can hear. Can you hear? Oh wait. Gotta make sure to click the little.
Like, what is it? Chill. Hey, chill. Go back to your seat. Hey, chill. Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. What is it?
This is my favorite part.
Like, what is Go back to your seat. Hey, chill. Go back to your seat. Hey, chill. Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat.
Okay, sis went ham.
Right. Yeah. So as y'all saw, apparently she's mad because she's like, I have children here, etc., etc. Now the knee jerk is to get mad at the woman that was like trying to be the buzzkill. You know what I mean? Like, go sit down, blah blah blah. Right. But in the spirit, my hashtag is same energy. Because at first I was like, oh, she tripping. But then I'm like, maybe not, because I went all the way in on Lizzo. Right. Where she, what I'm saying, buns out at the Lakers game and everything else. So no, I do think old girl was hella inappropriate. Now the response, I think, was a bit much. You know what I mean? On both sides. Sides. I think old girl was out of pocket. Like, what can you do? You can't. That's not your, like, at most, I'd say if you're that upset and you feel like, hey, I got children here, call security then. Right.
But it's also already done.
It's already done. But do you know if it's gonna happen again? So like, think like if I got my children there, or maybe if I'm sitting in that section or something like that, you know what I mean? It's like, do I leave the game? But no, I pay tickets and stuff like that too.
Absolutely.
So I might be like, I probably ain't gonna bum rush like old girl did, but then you're going over there in full. People over there drunk. People over there drinking at a football game. What are you really accomplishing?
And Jesus, if that was a Raiders game,
you got off easy. I'm gonna tell y'all that now, because clearly she wasn't in the black hole. Do they have a black hole at the new stadium? I would think they.
I have not been to the new stadium, so.
Well, the new stadium is the black hole basically, but it's the damn Death Star. But no, so I kind of compare this whole thing to like Lizzo. So if those who don't know, there was a video where Lizzo went to the Lakers game, and she had like some assless situation going on, like a shirt dress or whatever with the ass cut out and like a thong. And then she was sitting front row, and then they like put her on the jumbotron, like showing the celebrities that were there, and she got up and turned around and started twerking like bare assed. And so to me it was problematic, and a lot of people were like, you wouldn't have said nothing if it was Beyonce.
He's like, well,
it would be equally as inappropriate right now. Beyonce do be on some cheeks out shit, but the difference between that, like, okay,
I've never seen that.
Well, I mean, on stage she'll do like the whole little thong leotard thing, whatever. So here's my thing. My take on Lizzo is this: she does this in her concerts, right? And I think it's on brand on stage, right? The whole body positivity thing, whatever. So I think it's different if I bought tickets to a Lizzo concert. I know where I'm going. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to see. If I decide to put my children, that's on me, because I know what she does. Versus I'm taking my children to see a basketball game, because that type of thing doesn't occur at the basketball
game.
Right? So on stage, so it's not like it's Lizzo versus Beyonce. For me, it's a time and place thing. Like, I personally don't think it's a time and place. Now, did she commit a crime? No. I just think it was publicly inappropriate, as was this. So also, nobody, to my knowledge, approached Lizzo was cussing at her. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was surrounded by security anyway, but just that response. Now, where I have a huge problem with how the crowd responded to her, like, did that deserve beer being thrown on her?
No.
Like, no.
Come on now.
I think that was
assault.
Yeah, it was, and that was super out of pocket, especially for somebody that was I'm gonna say protecting their children. It wasn't like their children was in present like danger, but like, hey, y'all,
that
like,
was the spirit in which she
right, like
engaged them.
I have kids with me, that's inappropriate or something like that.
Right.
Now again, you could have went up there cool, like, hey, and I don't know that she didn't do that initially. We saw it when it was pretty much like escalated and stuff like that. But I don't know who threw the initial one, but then like you can see like some of the guys throwing stuff on her too. And I think that was whole shit. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like now if it was old girl or something like that, because she went after old girl, but then all the guys, they was basically like, hey, we want to see some titties, chill out. What I'm saying? She's showing titties, we want to see titties. Like, stop killing our fun and everything else. So yeah, I thought all of that was super out of pocket.
Well, I'm just glad she didn't stand there and get doused with beer. Now I don't know what happened after the video cut, but she was definitely on a mission.
Right.
Like, oh. But yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. I mean, unfortunately, we are in the times where you really just cannot speak up for decency. I would say, like you said, we're not sure how she approached them initially, but I would assume, let's just say, that she tried it in a decent manner. Like, hey, there are kids here. Do you mind not doing that? Because I've actually witnessed that before. I've witnessed people like, hey, can you watch your language? Kids are present. Like I've seen people approach situations diplomatically only to get told, shut the F up and all these kinds of things. So assuming she started that way, then, she escalated and yelling back and forth. I mean, again, it was already done. That wasn't going to change anything, but throwing beer on her, like, I don't know at what point that ever had to occur,
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty flat.
Yeah, now the cussing thing, like, okay, you are the whole football game. You can't control people's mouths.
Well, not necessarily at a football game, but just in general. Like sometimes you're at, like, let's just say even a sporting event where kids are, like, it's a kid sporting event, and adults will be just kind of doing their thing, or a birthday party,
listen,
where they do their thing.
It be the parents of these kids, like,
exactly.
Like at these Pop Warner football games, I don't even think you gonna tell. Like, can you not cuss? Nah, fuck that. These motherfucking refs. Like, I get excited at kids sporting events. I don't go like. So last night, we were at some of our kids, our 7th graders basketball game, and it was going down to the wire. Like, they hit a last second shot with like 2 seconds left on the clock to win it. But it was bad calls. We was going in on the refs. Like, we wasn't cussing at the refs. I mean, we're at work, we're at school, but we was still giving them the business without cussing and stuff like that. One kid, grandpa, he jumped up and walked all the way following the ref down the sideline. Like, blow the whistle. You need to blow the whistle. Like, I've seen parents fight. Like, folks, I'll say this: the weirdest altercation I've seen at a sporting event. It was a basketball tournament, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and all of a sudden we chilling waiting for our next game. I was playing in it, and a fight just breaks out. Like, you see, like, movement, and I'm confused, and all of a sudden this big old fight breaks out between 2 guys, older guys, as a matter of fact. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. But the twist to it. It was a church 3-on-3 tournament. We was in the church parking lot, and they were members of the church.
It's always the Saints.
Granted, it was in South Central. It was on Adams, but I won't name the church. But if you are on Adams, you know.
You know what church.
You know what church it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the big topic of the evening, we want to hear from y'all. There's a video that Dre sent me, and I don't think this is news. I think this might be be old, but it's still real interesting.
It's
Yeah.
definitely old.
Our favorite controversial comedian,
Mm.
Monique, was
Yes, my love.
discussing
She go
her.
yes, my love.
Yeah, was discussing her open marriage, right? And so she was talking about people ridiculing she and her husband on their open. Are they still married?
Mm-hmm. As far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Right.
But so they were discussing how a lot of people thought it was like his idea and he was just using her and everything else, only to find out like it was her idea. Now, the most interesting part to me, in the spirit of same energy, is that she introduced this to him saying that she wanted to have other relationships, blah, blah, blah. To which he retorted, well, I'm fine with that as long as I get to have other relationships as
Good
well.
for the goose. Good for the gander.
And she ain't think it was good for the gander.
Forget that gander.
Yeah, she was like, when I presented this, I was talking about me, like not you.
And who in their right mind thinks that their spouse, or even if you're not married, your significant other is going to go for that? I want to step out and see other people, but you,
Right? But
name stays home.
But that assumes that she's in her right mind, because
That's so silly.
she's been let me say this. I don't know Monique personally, but her public persona is not one of my favorites. In certain situations, like I don't dislike her, I just think she don't keep the same energy in a lot of areas.
Clearly.
Which is evidenced by this. And I say that because basically when the whole so we'll start with she branded herself as a big girl, and most of her comedy was like, oh, big girls this, and fuck you skinny girls can't do this, like shitting on the skinny girls because she was big. Then all of a sudden it was like a rebrand of, oh, be healthy and I'm losing weight, and she getting her Oprah on.
Right.
I'm like, oh, which is it? Now you trying to be the skinny bitch that you talked about? So then fast forward to the Netflix debacle, to where she was supposed to do a Netflix special and was not offered the same money that some of the white comedians get, and then proceeded to make it a black issue to say black comedians don't command the same money as the white comedians do.
To which Chappelle was like,
like Dave was like,
I'm out of this.
Right. And I say, is there a disparity in the work and in the pay in the industry? Yes. But my problem with her is, if this were a thing, which in a lot of scenarios it is, where were you then? You want to call on the Saints, because she wanted to call on everybody to boycott Netflix and blah, blah, blah.
And probably gave them more streams at that point.
Exactly. But she only did it when it was her. Like, didn't come.
Don't most people take up a cross when it really affects them? Not a lot of selfless people out there.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I think people that speak up, like certain people that have a platform, speak up when they see shit happening to other people. You know what I mean?
Yes. Using your platform. Yes. Right. I was just talking about just the average person.
Right. But okay, so I don't have a problem with her speaking up about being done wrong, but don't try to draw everybody into it and like, oh, it's a we thing. Like, no, it's just you. Say hey, y'all, this is what they're doing to me. Because Dave did it, and Dave is a much bigger name, right? So when Dave came out after when Comedy Central was re-releasing Chappelle Show, what was on HBO? I forgot where it was airing. Even on Netflix, Netflix was gonna air it.
Oh yeah, Netflix was,
And he came out and was asking. He did a whole special. I was like, "Hey, y'all don't buy that shit. Don't watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? Until they pay me. Like, that's my shit, right?" And so then Netflix called him up and was like, "Hey, you know what, Dave? We want to do right by you," and they pulled it. and he shouted them out for it. He's like, that's why I fuck with Netflix. They did the right thing. And then everybody stood up and they didn't do that shit. And then all of a sudden they cut him a check. And he was like, bet. Even Steven, same.
Y'all go ahead. Keep the party going.
Right, because
Anita Baker did that too about her masters.
Yeah,
like,
so
don't stream them songs, even if you want to clean your house on Saturday. Don't do it.
I'm like, look, I hardly know what Anita be saying, but she gonna get you right. She gonna get you in that movie.
Better break out your old 45s. But
and I don't know why people act like they know what Anita's saying without reading the words.
Well, I know that song, but some of it is a stretch. Scatter away on through.
Like, folks really be acting like they be knowing the word. I don't know what.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a word. It's a feeling.
Wait, her most famous line is a damn scat.
It's a scat.
And she got a unique ass voice. It's like, how your voice deep and high at the same time.
Yeah. She's an anomaly.
She a sopralto.
Sopralto.
I'm just saying.
I love it. Yeah.
But back to Monique and the marriage
and the open marriage, yeah.
Right. So, I think it's on brand for her to want something for herself, but not for somebody else.
Yeah, don't do it, Nita. Oh,
hey, no, her pen
that's gonna be in my head for now.
Yeah. Look, hey, she's still a legend. It's just I'm gonna be doing that for a minute.
We love it. We try to make sure y'all are listening. We try to make sure y'all.
We love you. We love you, Anita. So I mean, I don't. This would have been a valid question 6 years ago for you, so I need not ask. Like, could you do an open marriage?
All right. Well, not necessarily for my marriage, but just as I was watching the video, I was just thinking, like, because there were various clips where I guess she was doing interviews and explaining, and at one point she said, people think it's all about sex because they're small-minded. So I'm like, okay, let me open my mind to, like, what are the pros? And anybody that's in an open relationship, or maybe you're pro-open or poly or all these things. Side note, I actually watched an episode of the Red Table Talk. I don't watch it regularly, but every now and again, there's some topics and I'm like, let me see what they're talking about. And they had one because I guess Willow is in a throuple, or so. I didn't even know that was a term, but I learned different things.
Be doing stuff.
Yeah, so Willow's in a throuple, or was at the time of that taping, and so I was like, "What in the what?" And so I felt like I learned something, right? Like, and what Monique said, and what these couples were talking about was like extreme honesty. Because I think about it, really, because we talk a lot about cheating and all this kind of stuff, like. Other than, like, maybe, I guess, if your spouse or your significant other was like a secret alcoholic, drunk criminal, the only thing that really, causes people to be deceitful is if they're seeing somebody else or they have feelings for somebody else. So imagine that being on the table. There's no need to hide that. But conversely, you actually are like, hey, I met somebody at the bar tonight, but there are boundaries. Well, at least in the relationships that I was listening to people tell their stories, right? Like,
but what are the boundaries?
Certain people have certain nights, there are relationships that are like platonic in nature, right? Like you can go out with them, you whatever, spend time, but you don't do anything else. Or if you are, that's something that you need to let me know. I'm assuming they don't necessarily have sex with them and their spouse on the same, day or night. They have date days, like this is my day, this is so and so's day. Um, some people prefer not to know, right? Who the folks are. Some people are like, hey, we're family. And not necessarily family, but I at least know who you are. Show that, we're safe, especially if you're engaging in sexual activity with somebody else. But it seemed, and again, not for me, not at all for me, but it seemed mature, at least if
Right.
these people were talking about it, like, we have these discussions, these are our rules and our boundaries, and it works for us. And I hear people say it works for us. My question is, what happens when it doesn't work? Because eventually,
because I'll paint a picture. So the question is this, for those who's watching, and drop your answers in the comments. Is this cheating? Okay, so let's say you win a thruple or a quadruple, whatever the hell, and
now we're just making up stuff.
Right. So it's like, let's not even just say you're in an open relationship, because that's still monogamous in a sense. There's just like, I consider an open relationship monogamous with allowances, right?
Yeah, you have opportunity to do other things.
But if you're in like a throuple, that means the three of you are all in a relationship together, and I've seen those, right? Okay, so
you see that in real life?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, let's say I know somebody. No. Oh, okay. I know somebody. No, wait, you might have met somebody. Well, no, that was open relationship. That wasn't a throuple. Okay. But I'm friends with somebody now who was once in a throuple. But okay, so let's say you're in a throuple, and the setup was like you say, like certain days or whatever, right? So is it cheating if, let's just say, it's A and B's night, right, or day, and like B is at work and C goes up to B's job and gets a quickie in or something like that? Like they engage on a day that wasn't theirs. Is that cheating? Because
if you're in a throuple,
you're in a relationship.
Like everybody has equal.
Right, but but like you said, you have certain days. So it's like, is that?
Well, that was for that. I'm sorry, Willow was in a throuple, but what I was describing were the people in the open relationship. So got you. We are married, but we have allowances on Monday and Wednesday.
So if I'm in an open relationship, don't nobody got days. Like it ain't no. Oh well, I'm with my side piece this day. Like, no, you see them when you see them. Like, if we got plans, and I'm not gonna like try to schedule around.
And that's what I said. That's when it goes wrong, because what it sounds like to me is that, open or not, somebody is still the priority or expects to be the priority.
Right.
And then, but it's okay if, when I don't want you, or when we don't want each other, or when we want people, that you go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But if it's a day that I really, like Ronnie DeVoe and Shamari apparently were at one point open, and they talk about the fact like that it got out of their control, and they were like, no, we can't do this because you're gonna be fighting somebody and this and that. And I see how it can go horribly wrong.
I mean, it goes wrong with threesome. So somebody else I know.
Dang, all these people child, I don't.
Actually, some of them too. We just have different conversations.
Probably true. Try to keep it holy unto the Lord.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So this particular person was in a relationship, and they decided to have a threesome. And
while they were in the relationship, with the person they were with. Okay.
Right. So it was a female, and it was a threesome with two guys. Right.
Oh
yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Exactly.
Because you don't normally,
Yeah, but the problem was.
I agree, Facebook user. Also, if you go to, I think it's StreamYard.com/Facebook, and give permission, we can see your name.
Your
But
name.
I agree with your comment. Go ahead, Bartman.
Yeah. So anyway, they had a threesome. And the homeboy ended up putting it down better than the
See,
dude,
there you
right?
go.
And she ended up starting to meet up with the dude outside of the relationship. Or
I know
whatever.
somebody that happened to. They had
Yeah,
kids and everything.
right. And he was mad or whatever, but she was like, "You shouldn't have never put me on."
Now
you
you
know,
did it,
right. And so then
and
I
then
know
he did
somebody.
it.
Yeah, I know somebody else. You don't know this person, but she and her husband at the time decided, like, they was gonna have a swinging situation. Like, so it was like a little couple swap, right? And it
Okay.
was like a little couple swap, all in the same whatever. I don't know
About
if it
to
was just
open
them,
Pandora's box,
right?
honey.
It was like a little orgy. I don't remember if it was just them, but or other people there too, or was it just the four of them? Anyway, they swapped, and the husband got mad because it's like, I'm friends with the wife, and because she's telling me the story and watching her, what I'm saying, get taken down by the homeboy, and he was doing it better than him. Like, she seemed to be enjoying it more than she does with him. That's what it was. To which she confessed she was like,
He was like, I didn't know what I was missing.
right. So, like,
Nah, bro.
people think they want certain things until it happens. But I know for me, I can't do the open thing. Like, could I be with other women? Like, in my head, yeah. But do I want to know that somebody else is inside my woman? Hell no.
Bang, bang, bang,
Because
bang, bang, bang.
I'm too visual. And once I know, I can't get that out of my head. Like, I don't, because y'all wasn't just sitting there doing it missionary. Not that that's any better, but nah.
Child.
So
Mm-mm.
yeah, I
That don't
can't.
seem. So again, yeah, like Facebook user said, like the communication part, selflessness. The part that I did get from this that I think is key and important is that, like, communication, honesty, like, to be able to tell your mate, like, this is what I really want. I want to be able to kind of ebb and flow in our relationship, and then have somebody go, cool. And not everybody wants it, I guess, on both sides, right? Like, some people are just okay with, I'm gonna just be at the house while you do whatever you have to do. And then there are those couples that go outside. And then I think there might be couples who both go out, and then one might be like, yeah, this is not what I thought it was, and want to stay at the house, So there's all kind of things that could happen. But I think what I took from it mostly is, yeah, just like how incredible it is to be able to share your true wants, I guess, and desires,
Yeah.
with your mate.
Yeah. If it works, it works. Like, more power to you. I'm not knocking what people decide to do. It's just not my jam. Because here's something else. Like, we talk about communication, and this is what I just don't feel like open relationships lends themselves to having to work out your problems, right? It's like, if we not, or maybe it does, I don't know.
I was gonna say, because we could look at it like that, like, oh, if we're fighting, then you're just gonna go out and be with somebody else. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And so how does that help us mend what we have if you're divided and connecting with somebody else to avoid reconnecting with me? Now, there is
I'd say that part is the cheating part, right?
Mhm.
Like, if we're together, and the agreement is that you have the opportunity to, and I don't know, I don't know if they say, like, you can go physically be with somebody else, but all your emotions and whatever stay here, or if it's
But
just
you don't get to choose that, though.
That's true.
Because you can't even choose it for yourself.
That's true.
Like if you start to feel something for somebody, you don't have control over that. You only have control on how you respond to it.
And that's why that's just very dangerous.
Right. But I
Super
can
dangerous.
say, like, okay, so I'm gonna retract on the statement that I didn't even just finish, because it could be a possibility to where maybe the relationship is lacking intimacy, or it could be the relationship is lacking sex. And so I'm not getting that from you, and it's making it hard. So I have the option to go get it elsewhere. So that part is fulfilled. And now I can have more of a clear head coming back to face what we need to face, like in the things that we're missing. You know. I don't know. It's just it's weird, you know.
It's very weird, and that's why I was interested. I mean, I'm sure nobody maybe don't want to put themselves out there, but it's interesting because if that's not the space that you're in or the type of relationship that you're in, it's hard for you to kind of navigate like what the thought processes are and why people would choose to do what they do. But yeah. Hey, if you're having a hard time over on Instagram, we're really just doing this just to let people know where we really are, which is on YouTube and Facebook. So you can go to the link in the bio and click over to the YouTube page.
Right. So join us on YouTube right now. That's where the real show is cracking. Yeah. And when you get there, subscribe.
Holla.
So yeah, I don't think either of us, I think it's a consensus that we could participate in such.
Hashtag Boo's not going for it. It's like, I'm selfish. I don't want to share.
Yeah, you don't want to become a t-shirt.
I certainly don't want to be a t-shirt. I don't want to share either. Like, it's definitely not on my. I already told him, I was like, if I go first, you know, hey, live your life. But I'm the.
So
last
how long? What's the statute
after this? No indie after this, because I know.
Okay. I was about to say, what's the statute of limitations before?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, if I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm not. There's no possibility for me to come back. Now we do discuss like disrespect. Don't be disrespectful, right? Like, I don't even know if you know who Nene is, but Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene.
That's the one with the big mouth.
Yes. They all got big mouths, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah,
I'm talking about like the physical big mouth. I think there was like a meme with like she's real big.
Yeah, that's her. Okay. So her husband recently passed away. He's been battling cancer, and so you know, I want to say maybe within the last. I don't even know if it's been 6 months, but let's give it 6 months, right? And so she's already kind of been pictured or photos leaked of her with at least 2 different guys, one young guy and one, you know, older gentleman. So people are, you know, like, well, he's gone. And, you know, he gave her his blessing to go ahead and live her life. And then other folks are like, well, you know, it's kind of soon. And so, yeah, my thing is like, if you move on fast or whatever, like, don't put it on the ground. You ain't got to put it on the ground. Just live your life. And then, you know, at a nice, respectable time, you know, you can do it. But don't have me looking stupid from beyond the grave, and vice versa. Like, that just ain't.
I say this to my wife right now. I don't know if she's gonna hear this since I'm not married, but
right, she might.
Right. She might hear.
We'll pull it up when you get married. I'll be like, let's go back to that live at the top of 2022.
When I die. Do you, boo?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I can't do shit. I'm gone, and I won't even know. So if it's tomorrow, just make sure the relationship starts the day after I'm gone. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to leave people to wonder, was this happening while
people gonna think
he was still.
Yeah. People gonna think. They gonna think what they gonna think, and I can't do nothing about
that. If I'm alive, I'm gonna go grab her by a handful of hair. Like, hey, my best friend out here looking crazy. I'm still here.
Nah, let her look. If
let her live.
Okay. If she's happy, because at the end of the day, that's what I want. Whether it's me or not, and I've always said, like, if I truly love you, I want you to be happy if it's with me or not. And I have situations like that right now. Like somebody who I've had like mad feelings for. It didn't work out for us to be together.
Mhm.
But if there's a man that was better for her and that's what she chose, then cool. Now, granted, nah, nigga, I wanted it to be me. Like, make no mistake about it. But I control what I control.
Well,
So
in the spirit of same energy, men hella move on fast. So ladies,
but that's also how we cope. So a lot of
well,
that, yeah,
either
a lot of
way,
that is no. I'm not. I'm like, dudes, you
don't
do,
be
but
ashamed.
so, but no, but thing is, it's kind of like a reverse process. And I think I saw a meme about it. It was like actually kind of true. So they was like, women deal with breakups. It's like they hurt immediately, and then they call the homegirls up and they have a fuck that nigga party, and it's whatever.
Cut your hair, go to the
Right,
gym,
all
whatever.
of that shit, and then all of a sudden it's dudes, we break up. Oh shit, nigga, I'm free, turn up, nigga. We partying and everything else, and then all of a sudden ain't nobody partying with us no more. Then like when it gets back to real life, it's like, oh, then it starts setting in. And then like your normal routines that we usually included her are no longer those things. And then you're like, damn, wait, this shit is different, Because I remember when me and a few exes ago, the long one, the long term one, you know who I'm talking about. When we first broke up, I'll just never forget this moment. I was at home and I got hungry and I was getting ready to figure out what I was about to have for dinner. And I called her, but I hung up real quick because I forgot. Because she was so interwoven and ingrained in my everyday life that at that moment I realized I never even ate without her or talking to her or figuring out if she had also eaten. So like it was always like always a daily routine that we didn't even know like this was just a relationship and we didn't even live together. I mean, we might as well. We was always like whatever, but when we weren't together, it was did you eat? What are we doing for dinner? Are we doing something together, or are we doing something separate? Like, what's the game plan? And I didn't even realize it was that. So it's like it's almost one of them things like when you get sick and you get a sore throat and you never know what it's like. You don't realize how convenient it is to swallow without pain until you can't swallow without pain. It's like you don't even know how many times a day you swallow. And when you have a sore throat, you're like, why am I swallowing so much? I don't even think I swallow this much. But until something's not normal, you don't recognize how often you do this thing. So yeah, it was weird. So I forgot where I was going with that or where I was.
We were talking about the difference between how men and women cope.
Yeah.
Men moving on fast when their wives die.
Right. Yeah, but no, it kicks in. So no, men go fast, and then all of a sudden it slows down, and then it kicks in. It comes. So that's where I was going with that. Like then it's like you start to realize the nuances and blah 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 of it, and then that's when it starts to hurt. Like, damn, I miss her. I gotta cook my own dinner now. Even though I did it then because she couldn't cook when we was together. Not her as a Sally homemaker.
Well, sometimes we gotta grow into it. To a thing.
Clearly.
Oh gosh. Well,
her spinach tacos. But y'all
what?
Listen, that's gonna forever be funny.
Yeah.
But y'all, that's all the time we got for tonight. We thank y'all as always for rocking with your boy and your girl and everything else. Once again, shout out to the families and the legacies of Sidney Poitier, Betty White, James and Tuve, and Bob Saget, who we lost since we last were on the air. We appreciate y'all. If y'all have any topics or anything else you want us to ever cover on the show, you can go to our Bitly and send us an email. If you ever want to be a guest on the show and you have a platform or a movement that pertains to this show, let us know like what topics that you bring and what your platform is, and we can talk about having you on the show. So
And also,
anything.
if you have a business, you know, there may be an
Mhm.
opportunity for you to be a
Sponsor.
sponsor, you know, for us to be able to shout out your
Mhm.
product or your service. So you can let us know either by email, or you can also, you know, drop it in the comments and we'll follow up with you,
Right.
or DM us.
Absolutely. So y'all, as always, this says, hold on, we have one more
We have a comment.
uh-huh.
Oh, thank you, Tammy.
Aw, that's my baby mama right there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't officially break up, but she just like up and moved away. So we had to kind of
Well,
like
so did you. So everybody's.
she moved first. So
I was about to
we
say
have
it's okay.
an open relationship right now.
Oh,
Hmm.
we just talked about that, Lord.
Right. But y'all, this has been the Crossroads. We love y'all. We thank y'all. And as always, in closing, remember,
Be
be
free
free
to
to
be
be
you.
you. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.